Imagine rhetoric is a Ferrari. If rhetoric is a Ferrari, then your logos, that would be your horsepower, the horsepower of the car, the size of the displacement, how fast it can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Pathos, the emotion, sound, sensation when you accelerate. And what would be ethos? Ethos would be your brand. Protect your brand, protect your ethos. Ethos originally means habits, moral habits. Translated into the 21st century, credibility. Ethos is you, the speaker, the person who pitches the idea. That is you. And we have to protect this brand. Now this man here, my friend Da Vinci, he said once, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And yes, I simplified over the years. I simplified all the ingredients of ethos. Now if ethos is a pillar, for me there are two main building blocks of your credibility. And you want to build credibility because you want to have a great brand. The first building block, reputation. Reputation comes from the Latin word reputare, to think over. Reputation is the opinion of other people about you. You can only indirectly influence their opinion. For example, with a rock-solid LinkedIn profile. Now, how do conference speakers normally build their reputation? What's the first slide of any PowerPoint presentation? The boring title slide. This is when 50% of the audience falls asleep already. The second boring slide is the agenda slide. Have you ever been, from sexual excitement, been thrown at the back of the room when the agenda slide comes? But sometimes there is another slide in between the title slide and the agenda slide, and that is the worst of them all. Conference speakers put it in there because they want to influence your opinion about them. It's the about me slide. Before I start to talk about this amazing investment opportunity, let me share some insights about myself. And what happens in the audience when the about me slide comes? Mental vomiting. It's not about you, it's about them, the audience. But I understand them. I understand them. They want to build their reputation. They want to influence your opinion about them. You can do better. Kick out the about me slide and throw in some EBAs into your pitch. EBA, EBA, is an acronym. Do you know the difference between acronyms and abbreviations? For a long time I didn't know that there was a difference. I thought FBI is an acronym. It's not, it's an abbreviation. It's only then an acronym like NATO, SCUBA or LASER when you can say it as a word. For you as a presenter, it is always more recommendable to use acronyms because people can remember them better. EBA is an acronym. EBA stands for Ethos Building Anecdotes. Ethos Building Anecdotes. Two big advantages of EBAs. First, people listen to you. It's an anecdote. People love your anecdotes and they remember them better. Second big advantage, no mental vomiting. Two examples for EBAs. This man here is a famous German entrepreneur. He became famous because of his gift boxes for experiences. His name is Jochen Schweitzer, and for a while Jochen was one of the members of the German version of the Shark Tank. From 2013 to 2018, I was his speech coach. But I would never say this. First of all, it's name dropping. People hate name dropping. Name dropping sucks. I share an EBA. It was in 2014, July, in Munich, Oktoberfest town. I'm stuck in the traffic jam in a taxi, and the taxi driver is a Greek guy. Air conditioning didn't work, windows down, hot day, I was sweating like hell, but this is a Greek taxi driver. So of course, as a rhetorician, I had to show off. So I talked about Aristotle and Demosthenes, logos, ethos and pathos. That's how many Germans say it. So the guy, the Greek taxi driver, we were on the way to Jochen Schweitzer, the famous entrepreneur, to give him a coaching session. And the taxi driver, He said, with his strong Bavarian accent, "This is not called pathos, this is called pathos." If you're an English native speaker, that's easier for you because it's TH, it's pathos. But in German, many people say pathos. So the guy corrected me, but that is not the point. It's a funny anecdote about a Greek taxi driver and me talking about rhetoric. That's not the point. The point is that I say that I was on my way to Jochen Schweitzer to coach him. And that is an ethos building anecdote. My reputation goes up because I coach a celebrity. Second example. In February 2020, I was invited to be a keynote speaker at an event in Bonn, the former German capital. The client, Essity, a Swedish global giant for paper and hygienic solutions. At the end of the 2-day event, which was all about change, I was the last act. I thought, I want to build credibility right away to talk about change. So I started my keynote with my 1.27 EBA. 11 years ago, I'm in Berlin. It's a sunny day. I'm walking down Torstrasse in the bustling city center of Berlin. Next to me, my friend Sam. Sam Sonite. We arrive at Rosenthaler Platz and we walk down the stairs to the subway station. Sam cannot really walk anymore and we arrive at the yellow ticket machine. The drains arriving, screaming wheels. It smells like empty beer bottles. I look at the ticket machine and the ticket machine says €2.10. I grab into my left pocket €1.27. My inner voice starts to scream. You see, you loser, I told you. You should have never left KPMG. You should have stayed in the safe harbor. Now look at you, your European Cultural Festival. I told you it will never work. You will never get money. I told you. And now you cannot even pay a fucking subway ticket. Loser. On that sunny day in Berlin, 11 years ago, one dream died and another dream had to be born. Change. Tell EBAs in your pitch to build up your reputation for better ethos, more credibility. Go back to the workbook, page number 5. You will find a space for your own EBA. And I want you to write down a short EBA, an ethos building anecdote about the moment you came up with your solution, your idea to solve a problem. Write it as an anecdote and we are right back. The second building block for your ethos, your credibility, authority. Cambridge Dictionary says, authority is the moral or legal right or ability to control. As a speaker, you can always gain the moral right or ability to control. This man here is Max Weber. And Max Weber, a sociologist of the 19th century, he defined the 3 forms of authority. The first one is the traditional one, traditional authority. The king is dead, long live the king. The king, the queen, Queen Elizabeth, the emperor, the empress. This is traditional authority. The second one, do you remember what the kind policeman told me down there in my village on the 15th of March 2020? No, tu vas a casa. And I went home because it's the legal, rational authority, the policeman. And the third one, this is the one I am interested in as a speaker. It's your charismatic authority. Your charismatic authority. And this you can influence directly. Direct eye contact, open body language, vocal variety, the most important word, pause. All that as a speaker, the delivery, builds your charismatic authority. In the third and last part of this program here, we will go deep into how to raise your impact as a charismatic authority in front of people. What you do not want to happen is to lose your authority, your charismatic authority. Protect your brand, the Ferrari, the car, your ethos. People love to put scratches on their own Ferrari voluntarily. They scratch themselves during the presentation. That's a huge scratch. They say, oh, now I forgot what I wanted to say. Sorry. Sorry is a huge scratch. They speak faster than an AK-47. Brrr, no full stop, no period, no question mark. Huge scratch. Protect your brand. Maintain the authority high for better ethos, for more credibility. Of course, to have a lot of charismatic authority, you want to believe in yourself. Self-confidence is the super fuel for charismatic authority. If you don't believe in yourself, who will believe you? In my training sessions, I always give 2 recommendations for more self-confidence in life. First one, join Toastmasters. Public speaking. When you do that, when you tame the fear of public speaking, you will gain so much self-confidence. And the second one is sing in shady karaoke bars. Toastmasters karaoke, 2 wonderful springboards of self-confidence, which you need for your charismatic authority. Reputation, authority, the 2 big building blocks for the pillar of ethos, your credibility. But there's one other building block, which is on top. Think about all the speakers you've heard in your life. Think about all the TED Talks you've seen, watched in your life. Any speaker at school, at university, at conferences, all the speakers you've seen. What is the number 1 value of a speaker? It has to do with this football team. It's the Hamburger Sportverein, the soccer team of Hamburg in northern Germany. And their abbreviation is HSV. The number 1 value of a speaker, according to thousands and thousands of people who have worked with me, the number 1 above everything, it's authenticity. Authenticity brings it all together. And for 3 years, in my training sessions, I would ask hundreds of people, if authenticity is the soup, what are the ingredients? And the ingredients are HSV. First, don't lie. If you lie, you're out. Don't invent stuff. Don't invent ethos-building anecdotes. Don't invent contexts you've never talked to. Be honest at all times as a speaker. Honesty. Second letter, sincerity. Took me a while to distinguish between honesty and sincerity, but there is a difference. Sincerity is you say what you feel, and you feel what you say. This is not right. That would be a sincere sentence. And the third one, the most important one of them all, be never perfect. Don't be perfect. Be not perfect. The €1.27 anecdote made me completely vulnerable. But vulnerability makes me human. And human connects with you. If we put it all together in one formula, then the formula for ethos for me is you want to influence their opinion, you want to build reputation, you want to have strong authority, charismatic authority. But then all this goes to the power of authenticity. If you have 0 authenticity, your ethos fades away like snow in the sun. Ethos, your credibility, always 100%. In the next video, you will discover the 3rd pillar of rhetoric, pathos.